UFC chaos erupts as Dricus Du Plessis pulls out injured, leaving Khamzat Chimaev fuming and fans questioning if the champ is ducking the division's most feared contender.
Khamzat over here. Salam. Congratulations on your win. Wanted to get your thoughts on Dricus as a champion, his run so far, and what do you make of his grappling?
What do you think, guys? How I done with this guy, Rob? How he done? Rob took him down. So if Rob took him down, so there is salam alaikum.
UFC President Dana White recently confirmed that the highly anticipated middleweight title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and reigning champion Dricus Du Plessis was indeed in the works. However, those plans came to a halt when Du Plessis suffered an undisclosed injury, putting the matchup in jeopardy and throwing a wrench into the promotion's roadmap for the 185-pound division. Though the South African champion's team hasn't shared specific details about the injury, it's become clear that Du Plessis won't be able to compete in the rumored UFC 317 event.
Khamzat Chimaev, did he do enough in that fight against Robert Whittaker, who I thought looked incredible, to get the title fight against Dricus?
Yeah, he looked incredible. There's no doubt about it. He is deserving of a title shot.
I know he has some personal issues going on.
I have no information on that.
Where does Khamzat Chimaev fit into the middleweight division? Do you think he'll get the winner of Strickland Du Plessis, or is he going to fight again before a title shot?
Yeah, I think he probably gets the next shot.
Did Khamzat do enough in your mind? You're the champion. Did he do enough to jump Sean, and does he deserve the next title shot against you?
You know, Khamzat, you know, they've hyped up this guy for so long, but he's not come to fruition. He hasn't lost, but you know, with the fight cancellations, him being sick, and sometimes that's out of our control. But he was the first guy to ever submit Rob, and he did in the first round, and that warrants a jump the gun on Sean Strickland for me. And if you ask me personally, that's a fight I would rather want.
This development has led to a swirl of speculation and frustration, particularly from Khamzat Chimaev. The undefeated contender took to social media to express his disappointment, calling out Du Plessis in a blunt and insulting post. Chimaev, who was eager to finally challenge for the middleweight crown, saw this as yet another missed opportunity in a career already marked by disrupted matchups. Over the last couple of years, Chimaev has seen multiple fights fall through, including scheduled bouts with Nate Diaz, Paulo Costa, and Robert Whittaker.
Now it's my time. Yeah, don't run too much. Let's wait, man.
Du Plessis wasn't one to stay quiet. In response to Chimaev's public comments, the South African fighter posted screenshots highlighting their fight histories, subtly suggesting that Chimaev is the one with a track record of withdrawals. He pointed out that in the last couple of years, he has shown up to every fight he signed, while Chimaev has not. When fans teased him online about his apparent withdrawal, Du Plessis fired back, questioning whether the fight had even been officially signed in the first place.
Khamzat is an incredible fighter. Nobody has been able to beat him, but he hasn't fought anybody of note other than Robert Whittaker. That is it. This is not a grappling competition. I am not the best grappler or wrestler or striker. When we mix it all up, I am. That's why I have this. He couldn't even get a title at welterweight. Now he wants to come to middleweight. Great, let's go.
With Du Plessis temporarily sidelined, Brasilia and middleweight contender Caio Borralho stepped up. He openly challenged Chimaev to an interim title fight, suggesting that the matchup could generate even more excitement than the original one. Borralho took to social media to pitch the fight directly to the UFC, hinting that this is the bout fans didn't know they wanted. Chimaev responded positively, indicating he was open to the idea. Despite the buzz, no official announcement has come from the UFC yet, but the two fighters continued to exchange barbs online.
Someone posted a photo of his jaw. It looked like he had either broken his jaw or dislocated it. He's missing some teeth and they're pushing out. I'm curious if you've seen that and did you know the damage that you had done?
Yeah, before I come in here, they showed it for me, but I felt something was wrong with his chin when I pushed it. Feels bad for that. Didn't mean to broke somebody's chin, but it's my work.
Borralho and Chimaev's past sparring session resurfaced during the back and forth, with Chimaev posting an old photo that appeared to show him taking down Borralho. He claimed that if they fought 100 times, he'd win every single time. Borralho responded confidently, urging Chimaev to sign the contract and prove it in the cage.
Everyone call me bullet. I'm the making champions. I think that Nate is a very tough opponent. He's working. I know that even with Khamzat, he can always ride him.
While the interim title option simmers, the potential clash between Chimaev and Du Plessis continues to spark intrigue. Both fighters are dominant in their own ways. Chimaev with his suffocating grappling and relentless pressure, and Du Plessis with his unpredictable striking and ability to push the pace deep into fights. Fans and analysts alike are fascinated by what would happen when these two forces collide.
A preview of what the Khamzat fight looks like in your mind. How do you see yourself beating him?
Counter the jab. Oh no, that was Strickland's game plan. Let me think about something. Yeah, I'll wrestle him. Yeah, that's a game.
Chimaev's rise to prominence was lightning fast. After bursting onto the UFC scene in 2020 with a series of dominant finishes, he quickly became one of the most feared names in the sport. His most recent statement win came against former champion Robert Whittaker, where he secured a brutal submission victory and left Whittaker with a broken jaw and missing teeth. That performance served as a stark reminder of Chimaev's raw power and grappling prowess.
Someone posted a photo of his jaw. It looked like he had either broken his jaw or dislocated and he's missing some teeth and they're pushing. I'm curious if you've seen that. Did you know the damage that you had done to him?
Yeah, before I come in here, they showed it for me, but I felt something was wrong with his chin when I pushed it. Feels bad for that. Didn't mean to broke somebody's chin, but it's my work.
But despite his success, questions still linger about Chimaev's ability to go the distance. Many of his victories have come early, and he has yet to be tested in the deep waters of championship rounds. This is precisely where Du Plessis sees a potential advantage. The South African champion, who is currently riding a 9-fight winning streak, believes that he can take Chimaev into unfamiliar territory and break him in the later rounds.
When you go that hard, in around 2, 3, 4, 5 comes, you still have to be there. And I've proven that I am there in those rounds. So that is 100% a situation where I see if he can last that long, he has to realize every round he's going to come out, I'm still going to be there like I was in the first, ready to kill. And that will never change in my game.
Du Plessis has earned a reputation for being an awkward yet effective fighter. His unique movement, stance switching, and cardio have served him well in fights against elite competition. He's already successfully defended his title against Sean Strickland, and his upset win over Robert Whittaker at International Fight Week 2023 marked his arrival as a true force in the division. Du Plessis has fond memories of fighting during International Fight Week and expressed interest in possibly headlining this year's event, though his injury might derail that plan.
You know, as of right now, that is the big thing, is taking this vacation. You know, I'm here for the week, and then I'll be ready to make that decision. Get back to the gym and speak to my team, and then ultimately make the decision. Will we be ready for a date like that? Because that would be incredible if that's possible. I mean, International Fight Week's amazing. I've been lucky enough to fight on International Fight Week a couple of times. So to headline it will be something special.
For Chimaev, activity has been a challenge in recent years. Between injuries, rumored visa complications, and health issues, the Chechen-born fighter has seen his momentum slow significantly. His last appearance on American soil was in 2022 at UFC 279, where he quickly dispatched Kevin Holland in the first round. Still, Du Plessis is wary of committing to a bout unless he has guarantees that all logistical issues are resolved, particularly the visa matter that has been a recurring concern for Chimaev.
I saw Khamzat Chimaev today got his UAE passport. There have been some questions about his being able to enter the United States. Do you think this new passport will help it out?
Don't listen to any of that bullshit. He'll get in the United States.
And then
I'm very confident that
do you know a guy?
I'm very confident that we can get him into the country.
Several voices from around the MMA world have weighed in on the potential fight. Yoel Romero gave Chimaev a slight edge, citing his world-class wrestling. Romero believes Chimaev's grappling is on an Olympic level and gives him a 60-40 advantage in the matchup.
16-40. 16-40. Khamzat.
You have what, sorry? Who do you think? 60... Dricus?
16% for Chimaev and 40% for Du Plessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. They're wrestling. They're wrestling for Chimaev right now. It's very, very dangerous. Yes.
Similarly, rising star Bo Nickal backed Chimaev's style, arguing that wrestling has become the dominant force in modern MMA. He mentioned Chimaev alongside other elite grapplers like Merab Dvalishvili, Islam Makhachev, and Bilal Muhammad as examples of how grappling is taking over the sport.
I would, just based on the styles, I just think that the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
Still, Du Plessis has his supporters. Dominic Cruz praised his striking and ability to switch stances, which he said helps neutralize takedown. Cruz pointed out that Du Plessis has the strength and composure to survive Chimaev's early storm, which has overwhelmed so many of Chimaev's past opponents.
Dricus. Yes. Man, I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Yeah. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much, and I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his career so far.
Luke Rockhold echoed this sentiment, suggesting that if the fight stretches beyond the second round, it would favor Du Plessis. He called Chimaev a go-for-broke type of fighter who may struggle if he doesn't secure early dominance.
It's not always about the most technical guy, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go-for-broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out-wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard 3rd, 4th, and 5th round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah, 100%.
Robert Whitaker, who has shared the cage with both men, provided a balanced view. He acknowledged Chimaev's explosive first takedown as one of the most dangerous weapons in the game, but also noted that Du Plessis brings size and strength that could neutralize that threat. Whitaker believes that Du Plessis might pose more of a challenge for Chimaev than someone like Strickland due to his physicality and unorthodox style.
Khamzat against Strickland was short. Do you think he'd be the favorite against either of them? I think he just takes him down and how he beat Usman, how he beat Joe Burns. I can see those sort of fights. I think he'd have more success with Strickland than Du Plessis. Du Plessis is like a big dude. But ultimately, stopping that first takedown is so crazy. The way he shoots in that first shot is crazy. How do you stop that dude? Jump over it.
Other fighters have chimed in as well. Ilia Topuria expressed admiration for both men and believes the matchup has blockbuster potential. Though friends with each fighter, Topuria leaned more toward Chimaev deserving a title shot soon, based on his relentless pursuit of finishes. Meanwhile, Azamat Bakoev warned fans not to underestimate Du Plessis. He thinks the fight would be competitive, giving Chimaev a slight 55% edge, but not ruling out a strong showing from the South African champion.
Ilia Topuria on Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis fight. Ilia Topuria gave his opinion on the potential title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis. Topuria wished Chimaev and Du Plessis good luck as he is friends with both of them.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, It's gonna be a very excited fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Kamaru Usman, who faced Chimaev on short notice, commented on the Chechen's vice-like grip and ability to dominate once he secures a takedown. Usman posed the question of whether that same approach would work against Du Plessis, especially considering the champ's proven endurance and ability to stay in the fight no matter the pace.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back round one is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Coach Tim Welch speculated that Du Plessis has a knack for getting under people's skin and might bring out the more emotional side of Chimaev, potentially disrupting his usual focus. Welch also noted that someone like Sean Strickland, known for his ability to scramble and stand back up, would present a different type of challenge for Chimaev. But when it comes to Du Plessis, Welch suspects the psychological element could play a bigger role than fans expect.
I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first fucking 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so you might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Finally, Kyle Sonnen raised a question many are asking. Why hasn't this fight been booked yet? Sonnen expressed confusion over the delay and said that Chimaev, once considered one of the most marketable stars in the UFC, needs clarity on his next move. He urged the UFC to act soon and lock in the title bout as the rest of the division remains in limbo waiting for a clear direction.
And he's something special, and he definitely is the clearest #1 contender we have in any division. It is clearly his fight, but book it or announce that you're not going to book it. It's one of the two.
The crazy thing is the champion DDP, he's been after this guy for the last few fights. He told me that in Sydney he wanted to fight him. Now he's saying he's trying to fight him. I just haven't seen a situation where the champ is almost chasing the contender more than the contender is chasing the champ. I suppose it's the Tom Aspinall, John Jones situation if you call John Jones the heavyweight champion, which is arguable, but this is another situation that's pretty crazy.
With Du Plessis currently recovering and Chimaev hungry for a title opportunity, the UFC faces an important decision, whether they choose to wait for the champion's return or move forward with an interim title fight involving Chimaev and Baralho. Fans are on edge. The potential showdown between Du Plessis and Chimaev remains one of the most compelling fights in the sport, not only for what it means for the division, but for the legacies of both warriors. So what are your thoughts about this fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.